There is emerging on the face of the earth a new human, an infinite human, and that infinite human is you. Join Elizabeth Monroy weekly for enlightening discussions, multidimensional journeys, profound meditations, and empowering visualizations as we co-create the new consciousness renaissance together with other blossoming infinite human beings who are shifting the old paradigms of our broken, fragmented, finite 3D Earth and alchemizing it into a more expansive, unified, loving, infinite reality by reclaiming their true divine, infinite power within as the co-creators of the new infinite Earth. Join us weekly for the Infinite Human Talk Show, hosted by Elizabeth Monroy, every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
My divine, infinite human being, Gerald is, ever has been, ever shall be. And today finds Kiki and me in the National Archaeological Museum of Malta. Fascinating place where the secrets are hidden in plain sight for those with eyes to see. And I'm on a historic place right here. So I'm just going to turn this around. You can see I'm standing in a site. So most of everything is, of course, underground, buried in the ground. But the first thing I want you to see, and it talks about spirals right here, and this room is filled with massive stones that hold frequency, and in them are all spirals. And here again, see how this is all honeycombed. In fact, all of Malta is underground, the main part. Subterranean chambers that hold frequency, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But if you look here, notice these spirals. They mark all of these massive stones that were stolen from the temple where they were placed. These are all temples, and there's a picture of the temple, which you cannot access. They're keeping it all very, very, very removed from the public. The only thing you can see is a hypergeum. But I talked about this before. These spirals are the crystalla spiral of life that leads back to divine infinite source. And we're talking about the timeline split. So these frequency holding temples were holding the temperature or the frequency of the planet in alignment with divine infinite source, the spiral of life. While, of course, we all know the story about the Fibonacci spiral of death has taken its place. Now, this is the layout of these subterranean temples. Most of them are underground to hold the frequency of this very powerful dragon egg or dragon node. And I'm going to take you, come here, this way, Keith. I'm going to take you back here for a minute so you can see the true history of the hypogeum. All right, this is where we will be going on our tours. Sorry. There's the hypogeum, and if you notice the history of it, the first person who founded it was a priest, and he was mysteriously died, murdered, and all his notes were confiscated. So basically what we're seeing here in history is a huge cover-up of the real history of our planet. Well, I'm in the room of the goddess, although they will not admit that, and I have never seen such a cover-up job done. It blows your mind. But these are, in reality, the statues of the goddesses, the mother goddess, although they're trying to tell you that they're not even female. But I'm going to turn this around for a minute here. This one was the statue, a huge statue of a goddess, which you can see is so destroyed you can't even tell what it is. But you can kind of see the hem of her dress, which is repeated throughout the smaller goddesses. Now this one, they're trying to convince you it's not female, or they've been telling us through history they're goddesses to fertility, because they want to keep women in the category as breeders. But the truth is, these were the guardians of this amazing place, this template for our planet, and they knew how to maintain the frequency and the earth in alignment with the crystalla spiral of divine infinite source, meaning it was in alignment, in harmony with the oneness of all things. And they did that, as I showed, through the temples, through the toning, through the rituals. And here's some more of these statues of the goddesses. And they were buried because we knew, there's the famous one, the sleeping goddess. They're starting to call her the fat lady. But they were buried as a reminder to remind the world that at one time the goddesses did maintain the template of our planet, and it was in such beautiful harmony and alignment. There was no wars, there was no greed, there was no patriarchal imposter god thing about these massive stones. We just see a few of them here, but again, these stones were crafted together with such technology. They were actually, many of them were in the Hypergeum, were carved, and they can't explain how they did this. They were carved from the underground chambers, and to look like temples. Now, when I asked how did they do that, they have no idea. The technology was beyond. And again, they're saying that it took 12 men to move one massive block. Well, I don't think so. The goddess. Yeah, I think this is female. I've been trying to say that these figures are not female. They're obviously goddesses that were left to remind us that the goddesses were in control of Malta and the Earth's template. The famous sleeping lady, it's really the sleeping goddess. And I think it was thrown in a pit. But what it symbolizes to me is the energy of the goddess energy of Malta and of our planet that has gone into hibernation. It's gone to sleep, yet to be awakened. And the time of awakening is now. This goddess is now awake, and we are reclaiming Malta, which is, of course, the key to the energetic template of our planet. So we are reclaiming our planet, taking back Earth, Eartha, Aurora, Earth, Tara, Gaia, all the fragmented parts of our beautiful, beautiful mother planet, as it's recalibrating to the crystalla spiral of life. Once again, the goddesses are returning to Malta.
Ut te shalom Brahadin shadu isha donta Niha ut unshala et stundrome atadundrome da heshnasada utyayanin tatu ashlaminta reeshna twentina lushandra ima rashuraturumta ashudiwa Nataliwa